Every time that monster appeared, humans had to be cautious. Even the slightest sound could cause a huge problem. But this time, the monster was trapped. When humanity was nearly wiped out by alien monsters, two Indian men found a way to capture them. They moved a large container into an open area and hid on opposite sides. They pressed a remote, turned on the loudspeaker, and a monster immediately came closer. When the monster entered, they pressed the remote again. The gate closed. However, the monster was so strong that it dented the container walls. Seeing that, the long-haired man quickly pulled out his weapon and shot the monster dead. The first attempt was a complete success. They looked at each other, knowing it was time to pick up the pace and wipe out the rest. When the remote was pressed again, another monster approached the sound and entered the cage. One shot took it down instantly. Then came the third monster, and so on. The more monsters they killed, the more relaxed and coordinated they became. They even took turns, so each could feel the thrill of shooting. Now they just had to press a button, and the monsters would come in on their own. The whole process seemed easier than having lunch. 3 days later, there was a pile of monster corpses as tall as a small hill. At this rate, the planet would soon be safe again. After lunch, they prepared to hunt once more. But this time, when the monster entered the container, the long-haired man's remote suddenly died. He had forgotten to replace the batteries. The sudden situation threw them into panic. The monster, having lost the sound source, began to exit the cage. Panicking, the long-haired man opened the remote's cover and inserted new batteries. But the small clicking sound from closing the cover caught the monster's attention. Its steps drew closer and closer. Even after inserting new batteries, the remote wouldn't work, and the monster nearly devoured him. After narrowly escaping death, they learned their lesson to check their equipment before turning on the loudspeaker again. This time, the bait sound played for quite a while, but no monsters appeared. Maybe they had gotten used to it horriboard. The short-haired man changed the sound to rock music, but still, nothing came. It seemed all the monsters were gone. Both men jumped and high-fived each other in joy. But as their claps echoed, the ground began to shake violently. They knew something was wrong. They saw hundreds of monsters appearing from every direction, charging toward them. "So, how are you going to handle this?"